Hello, sweet yogis. Welcome to your practice today. My name is Julie Arce, and I'm here to guide you through a 60-minute yin yoga practice. This practice will have a target area of your upper back and also your shoulders. For today, you'll need to have at least one yoga block, two if you have it. If you only have one yoga block, then grab a big pillow or a bolster to help supplement. So we will be focusing on the shoulders and the upper back throughout this practice. And as always, remember to come into the practice where you're feeling sensation but never pain. If you feel pain within any pose, I really encourage you to come out, reset, realign, and then try it again or skip a pose altogether. Let's go ahead and begin. Place your big pillow or bolster at the top of your mat. Your head's going to be here. And then swing your feet forward. Place the soles of your feet onto your mat. Scoot your bum forward some. Now for this first pose, we will be placing our block in our back. So it goes about where the bra strap would be for the ladies. So we want to have it about level with the bra strap. You'll place it in about that area and then release back and down. And it might take you a few times playing around with this before you find this sweet spot. And then for the second one, you either have your block supporting your head or a pillow or a bolster supporting your head. This is pretty intense, so if you need to lower it down onto the lower level, you could also do that, having it a little bit more gentle as you come into your shoulder opening pose. So once again, we have it about the area of the bra strap, and then releasing our head either onto a pillow or a secondary block for support. Bring your hands down by your sides. Palms can be up or palms down. I like to extend my legs out long. You could also have your legs in constructive rest where the soles of the feet are to the outer edge and then your knees are closer together. So find that option. I always encourage students to play around with the poses, seeing which option works best for them. But once you're into the pose, take that first minute or so just analyzing to see if there's anything that feels like pain, and if so, realigning. And seeing if you need to make any adjustments within the pose. And then once you have those adjustments, you feel like you're pretty good where you're at. Commit to being in the pose for a period of time. That's one of our principles of our yoga practice, is finding stillness, not fidgeting within the pose. One thing that I find helps me to find stillness within the pose is connecting with a mantra or a phrase that helps me to stay connected in the present time and space. My mind tends to wander on yesterday or the future, but if I can focus on the inhales and exhales along with the mantra, then that helps me to stay in the present moment. And that mantra can be anything your imagination comes up with. It can be I am. Each breath stating the mantra I am in your mind. If you want to connect that with another thought such as love, present, thoughtful, bliss, you could also do that. Breathing on I am, exhaling out whatever your word is. Know that if your mind does wander, that's completely normal. And continue to bring the mind back into focus again and again. awareness back to your breath. And bring your awareness back to your mantra. In. You're here for just a few more breaths. To come out of the pose, place the soles of your feet onto your mat. Release so the palms are down onto your mat, forearms are down. Slowly begin to push yourself up. And placing the soles of your feet down. Now switch your hands so they're facing towards the back, and then windshield wipe your legs to the left and to the right, to the left and to the right. These three postures are called block down the spine. So we'll be doing this 2 more times, placing the block in a little bit different position. This next position, have it long ways, and we're placing this along the spine. We want it going through the thoracic spine, so not all the way down the spine, but midway, and then up. Placing your block along the spine, and then releasing back and down. This is gonna hug your spine. Now check in and make sure that that feels okay for your low back, that it's not too low within the spine, that you're not being jabbed within your low back, and then release back and down. We're once again on that number 2 size within our block, so I'll show you number 2. This is our number 1 when it's the flat size, number 2 when it's here, and number 3 when it's here, which would be a little bit too intense. So either number 1 or number 2, just depending on how you're feeling, how open your back is, how much sensation you want, and then releasing back and down. Using a pillow or a bolster for your head, or your second block for your head. Once you're into position, just allowing for the palms to come back up towards the sky. We'll hold this one a little bit shorter duration. Reconnecting with your breath or reconnecting with your mantra. Before you go too deep in that, did you find a position for your legs? With this one, I like to have the soles of my feet down, the knees up towards the sky, but once again, you can extend your legs all the way down onto the mat. Just finding that preference. We want to be like Goldilocks as we go through this practice. Not too much sensation where it's too hot, too spicy, and not too cold either. We want it just right. Find that just right for you in your practice. Breathing fully, deeply, mindfully. Finding your wave of inhales and exhales. You're almost there. Keep breathing. And stay right here in the present moment. Know if sounds arise, whether they're in the near space or off in the distance. Know that part of our yoga practice is called pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses. Not allowing those noises to disturb us. rather using them as a reminder to come back into the present time and space. Viewing those noises or distractions as no more substantial than clouds in the sky, allowing them to drift by. You begin to feel your body, the places of your body that touch down onto the ground. When you come out of this pose, move out mindfully, nurturing your body, moving out with as much care as you came into it. You root your hands down into the ground. Forearms are down into the ground, and use this to push yourself up. Now place your block and your bolster over towards the side. You'll bring your block and bolster over towards the side, and we'll use those again here just in a minute. Mindfully release yourself down onto your mat, letting your spine come down onto your mat, the back of your head come down onto your mat. If you want to find a counter posture, maybe knees into the chest and rocking, this really massages the spine and feels pretty good. And place the soles of your feet back down onto your mat, knees come up. So we're moving into our third position with the block. So you can have your bolster over to the side. You don't really need that right now. But we're placing the bolster over towards the side. You're going to root down through your feet. As you're rooted down through your feet, lift up, lifting your pelvis up off of the mat, coming up onto your shoulders. And then we're moving into our bridge pose. So for bridge pose, you can have your block, once again, your level 1. You can have it your level 2 or even level 3. So your level 1 will be a little bit less intense. You'll have your hips down a little bit further. Your level 2, your hips are more elevated. We want to have this on the sacrum. The sacrum is that triangle space at the base of the spine, not on the tailbone, but above the tailbone and below your lumbar spine. So as it's on your sacrum, you also might want to have it at your level 3. This is pretty intense. I don't really like the level 3, but it works for some people. So choose your Goldilocks position. I like to have mine on the level 2. And then the soles of the feet stay down onto the ground in this pose. You can even have your knees, just in a comfortable position. I'm going to have my hands up overhead, grabbing onto opposite elbows. And breathe into it. This pose really connects with the root chakra. Maybe you're breathing your I am directly into your root chakra. And as you exhale, exhaling out of your legs, out of the soles of your feet as if you could. Maybe even bringing in the color of red, the element of the earth. Nourishing through your root chakra. And feeling more grounded, more stability. A great mantra for the root chakra is I am grounded. Or I am connected. Connected with earth. So breathing into your root chakra, allowing it to be nourished within this pose. And breathing into it, just using your imagination as if you could really breathe into the root chakra. And sending your energy, your light there. Each time you breathe in, the color of red is getting more vibrant within the root chakra. And drawing in the feelings, the sustainability of the earth, the groundedness, the connectedness, the stability. sweet yogis, to come out. Root down through the soles of your feet, through your heels. Lift up just enough to slide your block out from underneath of you and release the spine down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time. With windshield wipe your legs going left and right, left and right. Come into a Shavasana pose now, just allowing for those 3 postures to integrate into your body, feeling the rebound effect from the 3. Allow for your legs to go long, your heels to touch, your toes to fall open. Now roll over onto the side of your choice, moving into a fetal position. Allowing for your knees to just draw in close. Now push yourself up into a seated position for the middle of your mat, preparing for your butterfly pose. For butterfly pose, unite your soles and allow for your knees to just open up. Our Baddha Konasana pose, our heels are closer into the groin. Our butterfly pose, the feet are further out if we're getting technical within our practice today. So have your diamond a little bit bigger. But a couple of options for this posture. You can use a bolster or a pillow for support within the pose. Draping your arms over it, letting your chin come into your chest and releasing down. That's my preferred position, and that's where I'll be at in the pose. I'm going to show you a couple others. You could also place your block between the soles of your feet and then release your forehead down onto your block. This is for the more hyper flexible bendy stretchy peeps. So this is also a really great option, placing your forehead down onto it. If you don't have props, you can also come into this pose without the props. You can just cup your feet from underneath, lengthen up through your spine, and then as you exhale, hinge at your hips, fold, and allow your body to drape over the top of your diamond. Choose any one of those positions that'll work for you today. We'll be here for about 5 minutes. Notice that if you're feeling pain within the pose, to come out, find a counter position, and then release back into it. take 3 more mindful breaths within your butterfly position. Using these breaths to bring you back into the present time and space. And to come out, slowly rise up. Know that you might be a little bit dizzy after coming out of that posture. Very, very normal. Place your props over towards the side. Place the soles of your feet onto your mat, knees come up. And then windshield wipe your legs going left and right, left and right. After you've gone left and right a few times, go ahead and make your way into tabletop position. As you come into tabletop, stack your hands directly underneath of your shoulders, knees come directly underneath of your hips. I invite you to cycle through a few sets of cat and cow here. To come into your cow pose, inhale, head and hips go high, your belly sways down. But exhale, round it in, bring your chin into your chest, energetically push your hands into the earth. Go ahead and cycle a few times through your cat and cow, going on your own. After your cat and cow, make your way back into a neutral position, a neutral tabletop. Neutral tabletop, moving into our pigeon, also known as swan in this tradition. In our vinyasa and hatha, we call it pigeon. In this one, it is named swan. Bring your right knee to the outside of your right wrist. And just allow for the shin to fall where it's at. And then look forward, squaring off through your hips, lengthening through your spine. Take a look back at your left leg. The top of your left foot is onto your mat. The left leg is shooting straight back. And then square back towards the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. As you exhale, hinge at your hips and fold down into it. Placing your forehead onto your mat, or your stacked fists, or your stacked forearms. This is a great place to surrender within our yoga practice. Allowing for our body to find softness from our scalp, our jaw, our shoulders, the softness through the heart, and through the belly and through the hips. And breathe that softness all the way down to your toes. Now reconnect your mind with your mantra. Reconnecting to I am. I am. And the Sanskrit for that is Soham, which is also another great choice. Soham. I am. Bring your awareness back to your body. Using this opportunity to come back into the present time. Slowly, when you're ready, begin to rise up. And bring your hands directly underneath of your shoulders, lifting your torso up off of your mat. And tuck the toes of your left foot under. And rising up onto your left knee. And send your right leg back to meet your left. And then send your right leg back, give it a little bit of a wiggle and a shake. Letting the blood flow back into your right leg. Maybe even rolling your ankle. Release the right leg down. Going into our second side, using that as our counter pose. Bring your left knee out to the outside of your left wrist. Just allowing for the shin to be where it's at. But take a look back this time at your right leg. Right leg is fully extended out. Top of your right foot is onto your mat. As you inhale, lengthen up through your spine. As you exhale, release down. Coming into your sleeping pigeon, your sleeping swan on the second side. Through here, scan through your body and notice if you're holding tension. And if you are, allow that tension to soften, relax out. Sometimes if we notice that we're holding tension, we don't know how to release it, contract the muscle in that area. And then as you exhale, just contract it, contract it, contract it, squeeze it, and then soften. It's a great way to release tension out of your body. Go ahead and start to rise up. Do so mindfully, slowly, gently. Taking it nice and slow. There's no need to rush. You have all the time that you need. Hands come underneath of your shoulders. Tuck the toes of your right foot. And send your left leg out. Give your left leg a little bit of a wiggle and a little bit of a shake. And the blood flowing back into your left leg. Maybe even rolling the ankle out. Now come over onto your glutes. We'll sit forward onto our glutes, finding a half butterfly. And so in our half butterfly, place the right leg into your inseam, into the inside of your left leg. And you can use a block within this posture if you like. So the block can go to support your elbow, and then your right arm comes up, and then you interlace your hands behind your head. This is a great way to gently come into the pose and stretching along the right side of your body this time. Stretching alongside your ribs, feeling the intercostal muscles open up. Hands come behind your head, interlace fingers. If you don't have a block, no big deal. You can bring your left arm to the inside of your left thigh and then just rainbow your right arm up and over. That is a little bit more intense doing that option without any props. So this is a little bit more gentle as you come into it. And breathe into your right ribs. We won't be here for too long, just a few minutes. You're actually well over your halfway point here. You connect with your breath even in these more strenuous postures. Maybe this posture is easy, maybe it's strenuous for you. Can you connect with your breath? Slowly begin to rise up. Release your right hand down and come back into center. Now switch to the second side. Bring your right leg out long. Your left leg comes into your inseam. Your legs are at about a 90-degree angle, so we don't want to have the right leg out too far, not cranked out too far. If you're using your block, place it over to your right hip now. Bringing your right elbow onto your block, left arm comes up. Interlace your hands behind your head. We're releasing and relaxing the head into the arms in this option. Once again, if you don't have the block, so reaching your left arm up and over. In this case, you're pulling your right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, and stacking your shoulders one on top of the other. We call this a lateral flexion. Our spine moves in 6 different directions. So we can go side bend on right and left, which is our lateral flexion, our forward fold and our back bend, and then also our twist to the right and to the left. And then I guess we also have the neutral position with our spine erect and straight. So those are the positions of your spine. This is called a lateral flexion, moving your body into that crescent moon type of shape, into the banana type of shape. You're almost there. Keep breathing. Stay present. And next inhale, slowly begin to rise up. Any counter pose that your body's calling for, move into that counter pose. For me, I'm going to do a couple of seated cat and cows where we come forward, opening through the chest. And then exhale, come back into more of a cat pose. But your counter posture, just finding a little bit of movement through your spine. Even some twist would be great. Twisting right and left. Let's move into our next pose. Our next posture is a melting heart pose. Go ahead and come into all fours. As you come into all fours, we'll start to walk ourselves forward, placing our chest onto the mat. Gaze comes forward, arms are forward. Now, that might be a little bit intense, just depending on the flexibility of your shoulders. So you could also place a bolster underneath of you, and this will bring the ground up closer and take some of that sensation out. The other option is to cactus one arm and extend the opposite, and then turn your gaze towards the bent arm side. So we will be here for about 4 minutes. As you're coming into this pose, just once again, notice if it's too much sensation, and if it is, give yourself permission to ease out. You have one arm cactus, move into your second side. And turning your gaze towards the bent side arm. Posture is so great for our postures. It helps to counteract all the forward motion that we have, looking at our screens, sitting in our cars. I invite you to come out by coming forward onto your belly. Take your time, there's no need to rush to come out. Come forward onto your belly. And we'll move directly into our next pose, which will act as a counter posture of that one. So bring your left arm out, the palm is facing down onto your mat. And bring your right arm, your right hand underneath of your right shoulder. We have the left palm down. It's, a couple feet away from my hip here. And we will roll open. So root down through your right hand and then roll and twist open. Your gaze will come to the opposite direction of your straightened arm. Your torso is opening towards the long edge of your mat. The sole of your foot down onto the ground and the knee up towards the sky. Breathe into the external rotation in your shoulder that you're leaning over onto. These poses are good for opening up through the shoulders, opening up through our chest. We won't be here for too long today. Just enough to get the sensation and take a few breaths. Savor the pose. Go ahead and ease out, coming back onto your belly. Take your opposite arm out this time. Bring your opposite arm onto the ground, palm facing down. And now your other arm is underneath of your shoulder. And palms rooted down onto the mat. We'll use this to open up. So twist and open towards the opposite side this time. Your arm is flat behind you, opening your torso towards the horizon. I'm on my right shoulder, you may be on your right or left, depending on where you started at today. I wanted to start on the left side just so that you could see it. And typically I would start on the right side, so I did start on the left just so that you could see my arm when we came into this pose. And you're almost there. Stay breathing, stay connected. Gently begin to ease out, coming back over onto your belly. Bring your hands underneath of you. Go ahead and rise up. And send your feet forward towards the top of your mat. Maybe roll your shoulders a few times. It felt so good to open up through the shoulders. I know I'm on the computer a lot these days, building out modules for our yoga teacher training program, answering emails, and then also doing course audits for people that are getting ready to graduate. And so these poses really help to open the shoulders. When we're on our computers a lot, hunched over a lot, and it just opens the shoulders, opens the heart center back up. Our next posture is a caterpillar pose, and there's a lot of ways that you can come into caterpillar. I like to use my bolster in this posture. So if you have tight hamstrings, you can place the bolster underneath of your knees or big pillows under your knees. And this will, protect the hamstrings as you come into this deep forward fold. So you can come forward this way, right? So that's one way to come into it. The other way is to place your bolster on top of your thighs. And then I like to place the block here, right? So placing the block under right where the bridge of my nose would be for support as I come into it. So coming into it here, just allowing for the hands to be heavy. Right? And then if you don't want to use any props, any props within the practice, I'm not using any props. Just be mindful that your hamstrings don't feel like they're overstretching within the pose. We want to find that sensation and then melt into it. Find your position, your choice position, and then tune in. See if there's any adjustments that you need to make. And make those right from the start so that you can find that stillness that we're looking for in our yin poses. And now can you connect with your mantra? Connecting with your I am. I am enough. I am worthy. In our New Year Awaken, our New Year virtual yoga retreat, we're working on the mantras, 4 of them. And those 4 are, I accept myself. I appreciate myself. I love myself. I forgive myself. So many different beautiful mantras that you can choose from. What is your I am? Sweet yogis, start to rise about of the posture. These deep forward folds are calming for your nervous system, so you might notice that you have a little bit of a yoga brain after you come out of these. And you feel really relaxed as you come out. It's a good thing. Place the soles of your feet onto your mat, scoot your bum forward. And release your body all the way down. Letting your shoulders release down, letting your hands release down, and then extending your legs out. Letting your legs go long. Find a comfortable position, making your way into your final Shavasana. As you come into your final Shavasana, give yourself this opportunity to allow for all the other postures to integrate into your body, into your mind, into your spirit. Our final Shavasana is the most important pose of the practice, allowing integration of all the other ones, and allowing for bliss, allowing for joy. And joy is where our heart and our souls combine, where they join together. And bring your awareness back. Bring your body onto the ground, onto the earth. Take 3 more deep breaths into your body. Bringing more prana, more life force into every cell, every atom. I invite you to roll over onto the side of your choice, moving into a fetal position. And allow for your bottom arm to serve as a pillow, allowing for your knees to come in close. You can stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, go ahead and push yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed or downcast. As you come into your seated position, sit with your legs crossed. Hands come into Namaskar, into Heart Center. And pressing your thumb into your heart center. And slight smile in your face, light tuck of your chin. Thank you for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. And it's always my honor, my privilege, and my pleasure to share this time with you. Thank you for continuing this journey. If you're new, welcome, and welcome to yoga. All right, I hope you have a beautiful day, and we'll see you tomorrow for some vinyasa. Namaste, sweetheart.